about the 8 things that you never want to do with Navy Federal, okay? And these are really important because, again, it is important not to screw up with Navy Federal, not to get a late payment, not to do anything that is going to make them think that you are, not credit worthy, you can't be trusted. Once you mess up with Navy Federal, it's over, okay? And they will get their money back because they, if they can verify that it was you who did that or took out the loan or took out whatever, they'll take legal action to get and recover the funds. So do not mess up with Navy Federal. I tell this to a lot of people, and sometimes I feel like it goes in one ear and out the other. But again, I want you guys, we're here to do the right thing. I'm promoting for you guys to never take on debt that you can't handle. Okay. We always want to protect ourselves because the last thing that we would want to do is obtain all of this credit and, end up not being able to pay for it. Okay. So, number 1, we do not want to manufacture spend with Navy Federal. We want to be very careful. Okay. You want to be able to use like third-party spend. So you can do like Rakuten, you can do the portals, you can even load your prepaid Go Rewards card, right? But you never want to manufacture spend. And what manufacturer spending is basically where you go and spend a bunch of money and then you return all of those items and get them returned to another account, say like a debit card, right? So we take Navy Federal credit cards, you go and buy a bunch of stuff, and then you return it. But when you return the items, you return it to your debit card. So all of that money is now deposited into your debit card. A lot of people liquidate their credit cards like that. They'll use wholesale places like Costco and things of that nature. And, if that's your thing, hey, I don't knock it whatsoever. But what I am saying is I would not risk my relationship, and I would never recommend anyone risk their relationship with Navy Federal to manufacture spend, because there's so many other places that you can do it with. Navy Federal and American Express are no-go. You don't want to get blacklisted with Amex, and you don't want to mess up your relationship with Navy Federal, because those are 2 major banks, and they are powerful banks, and they have a lot of intelligence that can tell them, what you're doing. Another thing is, if you do manufacture spend, you never want to have the credit returned to the same bank. So say you are using a Navy Federal credit card and you're having it returned to a Navy Federal bank account, that is, like I said, it's a no-go. If you are using, some sort of Bank of America and you're returning it to a Bank of America account, that's a no-go. You always want to return it to another type of account. Okay. So be very careful. If you do plan to manufacture spend to raise your limits, just be careful and be mindful of what I have said. Okay. Now, next thing, number 2, you do not want to convert auto loans into personal loans. I covered this briefly a little earlier. Again, we're here to do the right thing. And if your intention is to get a personal loan, just apply for a personal loan. Apply for a home improvement loan. But don't apply for a auto loan knowing that you are going to do something fraudulent and it's just not the right thing to do, okay? You don't want to mess up your relationship lying to Navy Federal about something so small, okay? So be mindful, and, I don't recommend doing this. If they do catch you, you will get in trouble. It is considered bank fraud, and, if the loan does convert for something, it's going to be a much higher interest rate because an auto loan has collateral. Personal loan, there is no collateral. So just be careful. Number 3, do not apply for a credit increase over the phone or in the branch, okay? And I said this before, but I'm going to say it again. Do not apply for a credit line increase over the phone with a teller or anywhere except for the app. If you go inside of your app, inside of your account, you will see request a credit line increase. That's where you're going to do it, and it's not going to cost you a hard pull. So you always want to request your credit line increases directly through your app, okay? Number 4, do not rush the payoff of the pledge loan. I did a pledge loan video. It's got a lot of people up in arms like, well, can I pay it off early? Yes, of course you can. But again, that's defeating the purpose. When you set up your pledge loan, if you do it for 6 months, if you do it for 12 months, just let it roll, okay? The purpose of the pledge loan is to build a relationship, to show your ability to repay back debt as agreed. Credit takes time. Don't rush the process, okay? Just take your time, set it up on auto pay, and let it go, okay? Just let it go. Again, I did 2 pledge loans. My first one was $3,500. My second one was $25,000, and the first one did 6 months, just let it go on auto pay. The second one, 6 months, I just let it go on auto pay. I think I paid a little off early, but I just wanted to really build my relationship with them, okay? So, number 5, do not dispute inquiries on open credit cards with Navy Federal, okay? You don't want to take the risk of them shutting down your credit cards over an inquiry, okay? It's just not worth it, right? Just take the inquiry. Just take the hit. Your credit score will go back up over the next couple months, okay? Number 6, do not mess up your interview with the business banker with Navy Federal Credit Union. I laugh because so many people have, just say less, okay? Have your paperwork together and know how to give safe and good answers. They do not work with anyone who works in credit, whether it's business credit, credit coaching, credit counseling, credit repair, nothing credit. So you need to make sure you have a business website. If Navy Federal looks you up and they can find you online with the business banker on the phone, they are going to go to your website and they're going to review your website. And within 10 seconds, they will be able to tell based on your website if you even qualify for a business account with them, right? Since they are a nonprofit, they are selective of what businesses they work with. So you want to be careful, okay? Nothing high risk. If you need to make a secondary website or landing page for Navy Federal, you need to do that, because if you are trying to get a Navy Federal bank account and you do anything related to credit, it is going to be a no-go. If you even have the word credit on your website, Navy Federal will decline you, okay? So be careful. That's why it's always best practice to have a very, broad business name. I don't know what you do, okay? Because your business name is, Nicole Scott Enterprises or, Nicole Scott the Coach. You want to brand your business and give your business name something very, broad, something that is not considered high risk. You can use the word consultant. You can use the word logistics, okay? Depending on what industry you are in, you want to, select something that's less risky, right? Logistics is great for trucking. Consulting is great for those that do talk about credit, business coaching, those type of things. And there's other low risk, but we're not going to get into all of that. But make sure that you are prepared, because they will eat you alive. The business bankers that are on the phone, they are looking to ensure that you qualify for a business bank account. It is a lot harder getting a business bank account versus, say, Bank of America, right? Who will pretty much take on anyone that signs up with them. Not Navy Federal. They decline quite a few businesses because they are considered high risk, okay? I recommend you go to their website, you do your due diligence, and you make sure that if your business is high risk, you get some things in order before you apply, aka a whole new website. Okay. Let's talk about number 7. Do not get the Navy Federal American Express card if you want to liquidate credit cards with the prepaid Go card. Okay. So the Navy Federal American Express credit card does not work to load with this Go prepaid card. You have to have either the Green Cash Rewards card or any other card besides the Amex card, right? But I did share with you guys earlier in the video, my experience with the Amex card was it actually helped me get approved for Amex on the business side. And when I got my Amex business cards, it said that I was a member since the time that I actually joined with the Navy Federal. So I thought that was interesting. Number 8, do not buy an access code to Navy Federal from anybody. Okay, that is the quickest way to get in fast and get your ass kicked out fast. Oh, did I just say that? Do not buy an access code from anyone to get into Navy Federal. Do not, I'm going to repeat this. Do not buy a membership access code to get into Navy Federal. It is not worth it, okay? You need to get in the right way. If you buy an access code for someone, it's literally like you don't know the background of it. It could be bad. It could cause your account to get flagged and shut down. You really don't want to be associated with an access number. If they mess up, that could lead to an investigation and look into your account, and they could figure, oh, well, they don't know them. They're not related. They're not a roommate. It's one of the fastest ways that you can get in and then get kicked out just as fast as you got in. So you want to make sure that you are getting in through the grandfather method, father method, relative method, or some of the other methods that I mentioned in part 1 of this Navy Federal Masterclass. So again, make sure that you watch part 1 and part 2 of the Masterclass, because there is a lot of information that we cover. And if you are serious about your credit, you are going to want to have a Navy Federal account, whether it's on the personal side or the business side or both. You want to have one, okay? So don't buy an access number. I know it might sound good, get you in, oh my goodness, let me just pay for it, but no, you don't want to do that, it's just not worth it. So I shared with you guys before my experience with Navy Federal, but I'm just going to share with you guys one more time. I was able to get 2 auto loans with Navy Federal. I put both of those auto loans on Turo, and I'm able to have, Turo help me pay so I can drive nice vehicles and literally cover all of my auto expenses. It's helping me build credit. It's just a great thing, right? And I have less than a 5% interest rate on all of my auto loans. So not only do I have a very affordable car payment, but I have a great interest rate, which is the reason why I have such an affordable car payment. Like I've literally have never had such a cheaper car payment in all my life until I learned how credit works, right? So 2 auto loans. I've done 2 pledge loans. I have 3 credit cards with Navy Federal. My experience with them has been nothing but blessed. And they have literally helped open doors with other creditors that probably would have never given me any sort of real limits. But since I have such high limits on my credit cards with Navy Federal, that has helped other banks give me higher limits, including Capital One, US Bank, PNC, USAA. The list goes on and on. So there's a number of places that literally have she has a high limit credit card with Navy Federal. Let's go ahead and match that, So that's what I mean when, you can piggyback and you can mirror, the account. Basically, when I say mirror, it's saying, if you have all these high limit credit cards on your profile, a lot of banks are going to mirror what you already have on your credit profile. But if you have a bunch of $500 credit limits, they're going to probably mirror that $500 credit limit, right? So it's just been a game changer for me. Again, guys, just watch through part 1 and part 2 of the masterclass, and it's literally gonna lay it all out for you. Don't feel like you have to know everything. You just need to understand the concept behind it all, okay? Now, final thoughts are, this work that you need to do is not going to get done by itself. You're going to need to write out a plan of action, get your to-do list rolling, and take action. Try to get something done every single day. There is no reason why you should not have opened a Navy Federal bank account already. They are literally open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The business department, different story, but you want to take action, okay? Get it together. You watching all of these videos and spending the time to educate yourself is great. I applaud you. I was right there with you at one point. Believe me, I would sit at my desk Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, with my earphones in, listening to YouTube, listening to Credit Plug, listening to, Mike from the Credit Game, who no longer exists because, I don't know, some things happened. But I was listening to all of these people who were, popular. And, Credit Plug, shout out to Credit Plug. I've learned a lot from him over the years. And, I will be honest, I would literally sit at my desk and listen to the videos from Credit Plug and say, man, I want to be just like him. I want to create videos on YouTube and teach people about this, because I literally invested thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars into multiple mentorships and coaches to learn this information. And while it was all worth it, and I'm a huge advocate of investing in yourself, in your education, in mentorship, in training, I would have rather dealt with one person that could have taught everything to me. And that's why I became that person that is educated about a little bit of everything, right? How to start a rental car business, personal credit, business credit, credit coaching, all of those things I do. So if you decide to do business with me, I can provide you with personal credit coaching, business credit coaching, trade lines, personal credit trade lines, business credit trade lines. The list goes on and on. If you want to start a credit repair business, whatever the case may be, we are going to cover that. So that's why it's so important for you guys to share this video and this information with your friends, your family. Share it on Facebook, share it on Twitter. Get the information out there for other people to learn and to take advantage. Now, this is just with Navy Federal. Navy Federal is not the only credit union out there that has really great credit products. There's a number of other credit unions and financial institutions that offer similar credit products. The concept is still the same. Build a relationship. Start with a bank account on the personal side. If you have issues opening a bank account, we already went over what to do about that. Watch part 1 of the video and get it together, guys. You have to, it takes time. It's very time consuming doing all of this stuff. So you have two options. You can either do it yourself, or you can hire a virtual assistant to help you do it for you, or you can hire someone like me to repair your credit, repair things, fix things, coach you on things, but you have to be a part of the process. You have to understand what you're doing, put an action plan together, and execute, okay? Execution is what holds most people back. They know what they need to do, but for whatever reason, they can't quite follow through on the execution, okay? That is key. Executing is going to be something that is required if you work with me, okay? Now, if you want to connect more, visit all of the links in the description. I've got, my link to Instagram. You can follow me at Credit Coach Nicole Scott on Instagram. Make sure that you have subscribed to the YouTube channel, Credit Coach Nicole Scott, and watch part 1 and part 2 of the video, because I put this masterclass out here for you guys to learn. Now, some of the key takeaways to remember: Navy Federal gives massive credit lines, okay? Credit limits. They offer stated income products. So you necessarily could use household income, right? You can use projected income, but it's all stated, right? That's the great thing about it. It's very powerful. It's a great place to rebuild your credit or build credit. If you already have, some credit, it's a great place to build. Easy to liquidate your credit cards fast. Again, this little guy is a gem, okay? Business funding can be massive on the business side. And of course, they're going to pull TransUnion on the personal. They're going to pull Experian on the business. They use FICO 9 as their scoring model. And again, this information can change at any time. But as long as you understand the concept, you take action, you're going to be just fine, guys. So from the bottom of my heart, if you are still around to the end of this video, I thank you so much. Please make sure that you share the video, like, subscribe, make sure that you've watched part 1 and part 2. And if you are interested in working with me, make sure to check the links below and book a free call to talk with my team today. Until next time, guys, make sure that you watch the next video coming up next.